Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. As you can see, Rama's in the house and we're just in the backyard chilling.
Yes, we're in the backyard chilling and playing with the birds.
Yeah, I wanted to share some thoughts. Maybe let's just call this morning rambling with coffee.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, because sometimes I have it in my head that it's like, oh, I got to do a complete research thing, A to B, have concise topics and show you guys my reasoning and our reasoning because we always talk. I mean, we never stop talking shop, talking business. This is just what we do 24/7 in the middle of the night, in the early morning. Our Emma was saying, "Oh, you guys now you're late risers, aren't you? 2:50 a.m. or is it early risers?" Well, you know, we grab sleep where we can. We're very empathic and we pick up energies from the world and we do energy work daily, with different people. We don't always have quote unquote clients scheduled every single day, but yet every single day we're being called on pretty much to help somebody somewhere. And we do. And even if they don't ask for it, as long as they have asked for it in the past, if we know that somebody needs something that they, then we'll put that intention out there. Do not underestimate the power of intention. The birds know this. And you can see Rama's listening to the birds without fail. When we do mantras, especially outdoors, the birds come. And especially when we do Lakshmis, because Lakshmi is again goddess energy. It's the divine mother energy, and all the creatures of the woods. Everything you see is creatures of the mother. Are the children of the mother, and the mother loves us. And so this is another. I have a couple things in mind that I wanted to get across. It's so palpable, and I've talked about this in the past where when I was like around 20, I did a ritual, and it was right at midnight, and it was aimed to connect to the mother energy, what you could call goddess energy, divine feminine energy. And when I got done with the ritual, I asked for a sign, and it was immediate. There was a knock at the door. I opened up the door, and there's a little kitty sitting there. It meowed at me, and it ran away. That is exactly how they can communicate to us. That is exactly how the devas, the ones we call the devas, which are really high, very benevolent beings. You could think of them almost as archetypal for archetypes. They are archetypal forces in reality. They truly, truly are, and yet they are also individuals, and they do respond every time we call. And they're not demonic, or demonic. They're not of the control system at all. They're that which the control system is fighting, the natural order of things.
Well, it's quite a battle, too, the natural order of things. And, this is why we see the types of things going on that we see is they are tapping into that natural order and they're amplifying it and making it a problem. But Mother Nature and this world, our creator, this earth, can see when that happens, and she goes to work right away to make corrections. Karma is a really, really magical thing. I think uh, people, if they knew and understood and saw karma in action, people would probably just stop getting angry because they know something is going to come down the pipes and allow for that situation to be straightened out and allow for those rights to be wronged. I think the biggest part of it is people don't see it. And of course, naturally, if you don't see karma in action, you're going to think, well, nothing is being righted. And I believe we all have a sense of justice. We all have a strong sense of right and wrong. And And when we see wrong, we're like, it's really hard to tolerate. You just want to reach out and fix it right away. And sometimes we're not able to do that. Sometimes we're not in a position to do that. And many times it's not our place to do that just yet. But when life happens, you will know when it is your time to help make corrections. It'll come to you. And sometimes in life, these little things happen, and source kind of backs you up against a wall and it says, okay, you're going to deal with this. You're going to deal with it. And this is how you're going to deal with it. And then it's up to you as far as how you're going to handle your traumas, and how are you going to handle this decision that's in front of you. It is the yin and yang. It is the angel and the devil. It is, Satan. Is Satan coming to you and testing you? Are you going to hold that door open even though you're running late for that little old lady? Or are you gonna let the door go and just get in your car and run because you're going to be late for a meeting? These are all little teeny tiny tests. Everything we do in life is a test. It's also a celebration. Waking up, making your bed, getting dressed. All these are very shamanic ways, and it's ways that we create ourselves and blend ourselves with the earth.
It's that fear of the earth, fear of the natural. That's the number one thing that they use to separate us from the energies that could help us, to root, to ground, that could help us to regulate our bodies properly, to perceive that which is truly, truly harming us. And this is exactly why the system has always attacked anything that has to do with the divine feminine. And think about how they have named a quote unquote terrorist group, which again was formed by the alphabet soups. In reality, ISIS, ISIS, because, ISIS was perhaps one of the most revered quote unquote goddesses of all times. And yet ISIS was a extraterrestrial that came here eons ago during the Golden Age to help with reseeding life on this planet. There is demonic reality and there's daemonic reality, and there is a difference between the two. In Vedic astrology, they categorize you. Well, I should let Cindy take
Mm.
over for this part here because she's saying this all the time when she does charts for people.
Oh, well, there's the when you come down to embody uh, your vessel, you're one of three things in Vedic astrology, and in Vedic astrology, it's called Gana. And you are either a demon, or you are a human, or you are a deva. And when I say demon, I don't mean the same demon as in Christian demon with the horns and the pointy tail. No, this is a different type of demon. It's an elemental type of demon. And these beings come down here to try to better themselves, and they try to make the world a better place. And many times they go against the grain. They are very rebellious, extremely rebellious. And the problem is they are actually emotionally, they're kind of in a lot of pain because they came here to better themselves. There's always going to be something wrong. There's always going to be something jabbing them in their physical body that is emotional, to keep forcing them to look back at themselves and say, figure this out, figure this out, figure this out. And that's how they are able to better themselves and make the world a better place. But then again, they're called a demon. So how can that be? It's belief system. It's what we've been taught. It's what we've been told. And those are the times that we need to ask questions and say, hey, am I believing this because I was told something, or am I believing this because I've really felt into it and it's a thing? What is it? What is it with me? So we got to ask ourselves those things. Humans, if you're a human soul, you come down here to make the world a better place by, whenever you receive something, whether it be a friendship, whether it be a dog, whether it be anything in this world, if it comes into your realm, It's up to you to make that thing or even that situation better and return it back to the world. And the devas really, they're just up there. They just really want to sing and dance. That's what devas do. So they're probably really into music and into the different arts and into the different cultures. So those are the three types of souls in Vedic astrology that come down here, and that's what they do.
The reason why we have a patriarchal system and we still follow a patriarchal system is, number one, to disassociate ourselves from the mother energy. This leads to us being cut off from the Devic energy in the bigger scheme of things, because when we talk about those beings that we call the Devas, beings like Lakshmi and Vishnu and Shiva and Ganesha and so many others, those are beings up at the highest of echelons that we know of in our in our let's just say I don't know if we want to use the word mythology, because they're real beings. They really are beings, and yet they are also in so many ways archetypal forces. When you look to Lakshmi, it's abundance, and in a way Shiva is recreation, is starting anew, fresh starts. Ganesha removing blockages, and of course Vishnu can be looked at as a creative and sustaining force. There are so many of these beings. Again, it's said that there's thousands of Hindu deities. Well, the reality is these are all consciousnesses that are unique, that are individuals, but as you go up bigger and you go higher up that totem pole, they are becoming more and more like archetypes, that we can pull and draw different aspects of their energy through their mantras into us to give us more of their characteristics. Cindy sees this when I'm doing mantras in Qigong. When I'm doing mantras, as I switch from one mantra to another, there's different colors that are coming in. Colors are frequency. And when we go over and we do energy work on people, we rotate through a certain visualization pattern of colors in order to alleviate pain, initiate the healing process, purge out any lower frequencies, including attachments, and then seal in all the good energies, blocking out the negative energies. And we do this through a visualization process of different colors. Color is frequency. Sound is frequency. And so utilizing the colors, the aspects of the light spectrum, utilizing the sounds from the mantras, again, this is creation. The combination of light and sound gives us the creation. We understand now that science is pointing out what they've always known, and again, not just the Hindu or Vedic tradition, but also in Taoism, in so many of the Eastern philosophical systems, as well as the Western mystery traditions, that we are again creating our own reality through our intention and visualization. This is what magic is. It's again just simply making this very heavy, dense form of reality that we're experiencing in these bodies conform to our will. The controllers know this. This is why they are always striving to accentuate the negative, the warlike aspects. And again, when you look to Mars, Mars can be a wonderful thing to have in the right house, because it can give fire it could add fuel to your fire, let's just say. Now that could be creative or it could be destructive. And again, there's other aspects to take into account with that. When somebody asks you, "What's your sign?" I mean, that's just like, that doesn't cover anything, because again, sun sign is just one aspect. There's moon sign, there's ascendant. You could get into the nakshatras, which give you much more detail. and are so expansive that you can encapsulate several hour reading and just cover the nakshatras. This is a matrix, a natural matrix, which is all about exploration and soul growth. Yet at the same time, there is a dark matrix within it that is quite the opposite. It's all about limitation. It's all about taking away potential. It's all about creating just simply a feeding reservoir for these really dark demonic entities. The first thing they do is cut you off from the mother. And they also, as I was getting to with the ISIS example, they take something that is good and they make it so it has a negative connotation, at least in one group. Like if I, say colors of the rainbow, there's some people that are going to just hear that and have a negative reaction to it. But yet the colors of the rainbow are necessary for creation because each color again is a different frequency. When you look to five element theory, Chinese five element theory, it's all about balance. It's all about harmony. If you have too much of a certain element, and this is really going for Ayurveda too, if you have too much dosha that is, let's say, pitta, you're going to be too fiery,
Yep.
and you're going to burn out. You're going to find that you're angry, you're irritable, that you have perhaps bad skin, you have an acidic condition in your body. Yet if you're too kapha, you're going to be very lethargic. You can't ever get anything in gear. You can't get your butt off the couch and get moving. If you have too much vata, then you're always dreaming different possibilities, but you're never actually doing anything about it. It's about finding balance and harmony. When they take away the Divine Mother, when they take away the goddess energy, they're taking away half of everything. And in reality, they're taking away this material universe from us and claiming it for themselves. Because, in many of the myths and legends, they say that we are, basically creation is the body of a deity. There's many myths about a deity being sacrificed, and that's how the planet was formed. In reality, we're in the mind of the Father in so many ways, but we're actually also in the body of the Mother. We're in her womb right now, and she is very easy to contact. You couldn't get any easier, and she will respond to you so easily when you do any of the mantras. Really, again, Sanskrit is an ancient language and it's a purer language. English is perhaps the harshest language we have, and it is the dominant economic language and also geopolitical language on the planet for a reason, because it is one of their newest constructs when it comes to the dark matrix within the original natural matrix. So it is so reassuring to sit down any woods, whether it's, and even out in the middle of the desert, we'll still get signs when we do our mantras and we start rolling into Lakshmi mantras. Wherever we are, we had hundreds, if not thousands of birds in the New Mexico desert all of a sudden descend down on the little cabin that we were in one time doing Lakshmi mantras. And it was amazing because, here we are in the desert, a bird here and there randomly, thousands showed up.
That was quite a day. So, yeah, when we do these mantras, I mean the birds, they just show up and it's really super cool. And I sent a friend of mine a video on that. It wasn't very easy to see because babies are playing or it wasn't very easy to hear because Mike was doing mantras in the background and we had a chainsaw and the dogs were playing, but I did my best. I sent her the video because it's cool. We're sitting here doing mantras and all of a sudden we got, 30, 40 birds show up and it's fun. And that's how and they're happy and they're playing and they're chasing each other from branch to branch. And that's how you work with the mother.
Yeah, we'll have them actually show up and then like plant themselves on the screen in the window and just stare at us.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild.
It's very nice. It's very nice.
So again, when you feel love and compassion, that expands outwards, and you're expanding your energy, your aura, you're expanding your heart center. And when you feel fear, that constricts. It's just so simple and obvious when you look at belief systems that are based on punishment. And well, you do this, otherwise you're going to be, burning forever again. That's not of the natural matrix. That is the control system. And again, these people, through fear, their own fear, they are used by the control system to again inflict pain and punishment and destruction upon those that are not of the control system. So we've seen this with we've seen this with all the indigenous people who were so much more attached to the mother and the natural world than, say, the Europeans that came in and through colonization wiped out those cultures, installed the new Abrahamic traditions. And I've talked about this many, many times. They're again enforcing the will of the system, which is always a blood sacrifice through war, and more than just war too, with the intentional poisoning of people and harming of people that the system always does. The system is again very, very demonic, very dark, very evil, very controlling. When you look to the Hindu system, its whole objective is self-realization. That's you're on a discovery path of who are you. It's just that simple. And so, through experiences and interactions with others, we can take a step back and look at our own motives and discover who are we really. When I was in my teens, going into early adulthood, I started to take on a fake persona, and that was the persona that the system wanted. And that is, again, everything is based on competition and, having to achieve certain objectives that they tell you and they sell you. Nowadays, does anybody know of the American dream anymore? That was home ownership, a car, a good job, just being a consumer. That's the dream that they imposed upon us, and we bought it hook, line, and sinker. And yet, is that really the goal that we should be striving for? Because in reality, you can't take anything with you but your experiences and your frequency. So we should really be focusing more on the frequency. What is causing expansion? What's causing love and compassion? What's causing and bringing about greater understanding? Those are the things we should be focusing on.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I'll leave that on this, and we'll continue some more coffee ramblings maybe tomorrow morning.
Yes.
We want to thank you guys. Be safe, and may you all be protected and guided. And I know, boy, it's one of those things where you'll get somebody randomly that just doesn't understand and say, but I'm Christian. Well, we know you don't understand the bigger picture yet. You're still in a phase of discovery, because again, the Christianity of today is not what the real Yeshua was teaching, and many people are awakening to that fact in droves, because again, it's what the system does. They take something good, they distort it, and they use it to their advantage. They always do this, but they're being exposed big time. So stay safe, work with each other, reach out to each other. Do leave your comments. Please do, again, like, subscribe to all the channels, and share this as much as possible. And let's shift the paradigm.
Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.